Danielle Teller, Sacred Cows, The Truth About Divorce and Marriage. Dive into the world of As Sacred Cows, The Truth About Divorce and Marriage, by Danielle Teller, where we uncover the underlying cultural assumptions influencing our perception of marriage and divorce. These sacred cows persist as unquestioned facts, making it difficult to scrutinize the true nature of the institution of marriage. In the following summary, we will introduce you to several sacred cows, such as the holy cow, the expert cow, the defective cow, and the innocent victim cow. By questioning and challenging these characters, we can better understand their roles in perpetuating dogmatic views on marriage, and open up conversations about individual happiness and choice within relationships.
Challenging sacred cows in society. The concept of sacred cows is prevalent in society, where some beliefs are held as facts and are challenging to dispute. This notion became prevalent during the time when people believed that the world was flat. Those who challenged these beliefs were harshly criticized. Galileo is one of them who challenged multiple facts and was heavily criticized. Similarly, society has regarded marriage and divorce as a dogmatic view. If someone gets divorced, they are considered disloyal, irresponsible, or defective. This view of marriage needs to be challenged. Married people are thought to be responsible, logical, and caring, and divorce threatens these norms. America is filled with people who propagate the sacred cow of marriage. This belief is propagated by the holy cow, the expert cow, the defective cow, and the innocent victim cow, to name a few. These myths need to be busted. Overcoming the holy cow. The holy cow is a conservative dogmatist who believes in the sanctity of marriage and despises divorce. He views divorce as a sign of individual weakness and selfishness, and tries to depict divorcees as nonconformist and out of sync with society. However, this view is flawed and unrealistic. No one can predict how feelings will change over time, and promising to love another person, till death do us part, is not a realistic expectation. The holy cow's perspective is hindering individuals from making choices that suit their happiness. It's time to overcome the holy cow and embrace the reality that change is inevitable in life. Beware of the expert cow. In relationships, it's crucial to recognize when expert advice isn't genuinely helping. The expert cow is someone who gives one-size-fits-all advice that caters to their own agenda instead of focusing on your well-being. This can be a marriage counselor or a self-help book. When seeking help, it's important to consider your desires and not blindly follow the expert cow's principles. This is because self-examination helps alleviate marital distress. Hence, before seeking help, you must work out your desires to determine the best approach for you. If what's troubling you is your partner's selfishness and lack of support, then seeing a therapist who specializes in reigniting the physical passion may not be the solution. Overall, remember that there's no one-size-fits-all advice, and it's essential to stay true to yourself and not be misled by the expert cow. Blaming the victim. The defective cow is a person who values marriage above everything else. When someone confides in him or her about getting a divorce, they will be convinced that they are somehow defective, and that the blame for the breakdown in the relationship is squarely on their shoulders. This can lead to people feeling ashamed and guilty, even though they are not to blame. For example, if a woman has lost her libido, the defective cow may tell her it's because she's not confident in her body, or her diet is all wrong. These fanciful solutions only reinforce the idea that the person is defective and should feel guilty. While there are good reasons for staying together, shame and guilt should not play a role in the decision-making process. The deceit of statistics. The innocent victim cow, a master of exploiting parental instincts, utilizes statistics to persuade individuals about the negative consequences of divorce. However, statistics are often abused, leading to a confusion of correlation with causation. For instance, the notion that the children of divorced couples are more likely to divorce is not backed up by strong evidence and only proves correlation. The same principle holds in the correlation between horse ownership and wealth. The innocent victim cow leverages statistics to manipulate parental emotions and convince individuals to prioritize preserving marriage for the sake of their children. However, this deceptive tactic simplifies complex issues and ignores the reality of individual situations. The guilt-tripping rhetoric of "doing it for the children" is not a sound reason to preserve a damaging marriage. Therefore, one must approach statistics with caution and resist accepting causal connections that have no evidence to support them.
In Sacred Cows, The Truth About Divorce and Marriage, Danielle Teller reveals how certain cultural assumptions, or sacred cows, continue to govern our thinking on marriage and divorce. Through the exploration of characters such as the holy cow, the expert cow, the defective cow, and the innocent victim cow, we're encouraged to challenge and question deep-seated beliefs about the institution of marriage. Ultimately, the book prompts us to focus on individual happiness, desires, and choices when it comes to navigating relationships, rather than adhering to dogmatic views that may no longer serve our best interests. As a result, we gain a more nuanced understanding of the complexities of marriage, divorce, and the need for personal growth in our relationships.